Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. This week's wisdom comes from 4 teachers: the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. Let's get right into today's message. Do you sometimes feel, or have you ever felt like, your self-worth fluctuates with the approval or disapproval of others? This is a common experience, but one that can leave us feeling insecure and unfulfilled on a teeter-totter that hinges on the whims of the world around us. Linda, what a good morning. It's great to see you. Hello. And somebody, good morning. Welcome to a brand new day. This little book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, offers a path towards self-discovery where your inherent worth shines through, independent of the external validation, helping you shed the masks that you wear to seek approval and embrace the authentic you whose worth is undeniable. The first thought from the book today is, do you have any other advice? Asked the boy. Don't measure how valuable you are by the way you are treated, said the horse. And then, what are you glad you gave up? Asked the boy. Trying to please everyone, said the horse. Let's take a moment to talk about a reflected sense of self. This is a term used to describe how children first learn who they are, the process of building an identity from what gets reflected back to them. Very literally, the world around us repeated our names until we adopted the belief that this is who I am. Danae, a very good morning. Anthony, good morning. Hello, beautiful humans. Might there be, just like your name, might there be any other beliefs that we've picked up and made a part of ourself because of what was reflected back to us from the people around us? How much of other people's opinions about us shaped who we think we are today? Today's meditation is a journey of the masks that we wear in order to make ourselves acceptable to the world. Looking at each one and reminding ourselves that we're getting better at shedding our need for these masks. It's well worth repeating this process again and again, because as Muji so beautifully reminds us, the easy part is being who you are. What is hard is to stop being what you are not. Masks can be sticky that way. It can be a long process before we're finally ready to put them down for good. As a part of the identity we create from the opinions of others, the voices around us in childhood get recorded and adopted as adults. This is the way we speak to ourselves, the way in which we were spoken to as kids. 2 more thoughts from the book for us today. The first one, sometimes your mind plays tricks on you. It can tell you you're no good, that it's all hopeless. But remember this, you are loved and important, and you bring to this world things that no one else can. So hold on. What else? Asked the boy. You will have plenty of critics, said the horse. Don't be one of them. I'd love to repeat this last one again. What else? Asked the boy. You will have plenty of critics, said the horse. Don't be one of them. Charlene, good morning. Great to see you. Hello. Our old patterns of survival cause us to unconsciously pick up and wear those old masks and speak to ourselves in the same old disempowering ways again. But over time, if we are kind to ourselves through this process, it becomes easier to stop and recognize that this is not me when we put that mask on. This is not how I want to speak to myself when you hear the same old accusing narrative again. The journey of self-discovery is not about becoming someone new, but rather rediscovering who you were before the world told you who you should be. If if you're ready, you can close your eyes and we'll float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine. Lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. While you continue your full body breathing, we'll have a quick conversation one more time about a reflected sense of self. This is what the process is called when we are kids. And really the first way we get to know ourselves is from the reactions of the humans around us. Now, we're not going through this process right now or having this meditation today in order to point fingers at the humans around us for what they did to us. That's not the point of today's meditation. But it is really helpful to understand just how the architecture of our brain and nervous system and sense-making works. The simplest example of this is, why do you have this deep belief in what your name is? And of course, the simple answer is, that name has been reflected to you so many thousands of times that it became automatic. Like, of course, this is who you are. But it is worth reflecting on how much of what I think I am, when I look at myself, what I see, how much of that is not really me at all. It is simply this collection of reflections that I have absorbed from the world around me. Our journey will take us through the people closest to us, but we were shaped by the larger culture as well. The things we read, the things we watched, the things we listened to, even just marketing itself shapes what we think about ourselves. So this meditation really is just a reminder to look at yourself and perhaps from time to time question, who is the real me? Who is the me that came into this world before the world showed me who I should be? It's a journey that lasts our whole lifetime. And if we slowly remember what we really are, if we slowly become who we were always meant to be, then we're on the right track. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left. Forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. Lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you can't sit with us for the whole journey, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. As you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, I want to remind you that our journey today is called The Masks We Wear. It is a reminder of some of the things that shape us, some of the things that have shaped how we interact with the world around us. And at its core, this is not a finger pointing to the world around you, but a reminder that there's a journey to be had here, a journey to understand who you really are, who you were before the world told you who you should be. Take your next big breath. we'll start this journey with some of our first memories. Think about your parents or whichever caregivers were in your life. And in your youngest years, see if you can find an example of a moment where it felt to you like how you're behaving is not acceptable, but really who you are is not acceptable. Where your parents' reaction to you or other caregivers' reaction to you made you feel as though I would have to be different in order to be accepted. As you take your next big breath, see if you can find such a memory. And how is it that you decided you needed to be different? Take your next big breath. Take a moment to recognize at least some of the ways you've tried to wear a mask when you deal with people. Try and be something different. And for right now, you can take off that mask and gently put it on the floor next to you. Let's see what else there might be. In our young lives, we're often being taken care of by other adults as well. Could be grandparents, could be uncles and aunts, could be the neighbors. In your very young life, can you remember a moment where any other adult caregiver made you feel like the way you are is not acceptable, and that you would have to show up differently if you wanted to be accepted? Take your next big breath. We all have at least some part of that old fear of being kicked out of the tribe still left in our programming. Historically, if we were kicked out of the tribe, that would be an extremely scary experience to live through, and possibly not be able to survive it. That old part in our brain still reacts when we're kids, especially, and we think there's a fear that we might be kicked out of the tribe. Now, while kids will do what kids do, it's not going to make them behave 100% like the adults wanted them to. Still, the child will feel this fear that perhaps I can be thrown away. Very often in our very young lives, we spend quite a bit of time with other young children too. These could be siblings, they could be cousins, they could be kids down the street. Think of an example with your young friends, young other kids in your life at that point in time. Was there ever a moment where any of the other younger kids made you feel like you would have to be different, otherwise we won't accept you? See if you can find such an example. Take your next big breath. You can take off that mask too. Put it on the floor gently. And let's see what else there might be. Of course, as children, the teachers in our lives play a huge role in how we see ourselves, who we're trying to be. But teachers are human too. And more often than not, they're fighting their own battles at home. And perhaps they don't bring sage wisdom into the classroom every day. Can you remember an example with a teacher, where the teacher's reaction to you made you feel like the way I am is not acceptable, and I would have to be different in order to be accepted? See if you can find such an example. Take your next big breath. You can take off that mask too and gently place it on the ground or the floor next to you. In our teenage years, the friend connections we make, the peers in our group, hold so much power over how we see ourselves. Can you remember an example with a teenage friend where in that moment it felt like you're going to be rejected? How you are is not acceptable, and you'd have to be different if you wanted to be accepted. See if you can find an example with a teenage friend. Take your next big breath. That's another mask. You can remove, put it on the floor. While we do one more stop. In our formative years, the reaction of the humans around us played the biggest role in how we see ourselves. But it's certainly not absent when we're adults. And of course, when these things happen when we're an adult, it triggers the lessons we've already learned as kids. Do you have an example of an adult relationship where the person's response or reaction made you feel like you're not acceptable? That how you are is not acceptable and you would have to be different, otherwise you're going to be abandoned. Take your next big breath. And that's one more mask you can remove and gently place on the floor next to you. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips into your body. And allow softness to settle in every cell of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. The key takeaway from this meditation is to reflect on all the thoughts you have about yourself. To become really good at having the awareness when you have a negative thought about yourself, to stop that thought, have a conversation with that thought, and ask, is this true about me? This thing that I always believe about me, is this true about me, or was I simply handed this? Was this view of me just given to me and I accepted it? you are getting to know the real you. The you that you were before the world showed you who you should be. The you that was really always there. I'll read to you one more time today's quotes from The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And it speaks to this beautifully. "Do you have any other advice?" asked the boy. "Don't measure how valuable you are by the way you are treated," said the horse. "What are you glad you gave up?" asked the boy. "Trying to please everyone," said the horse. Now the truth is, masks are not the only adaptations we make in our interaction with the world around us. We also absorb those voices, and a part of how we speak to ourselves come from how we were spoken to. And just like questioning the thoughts about ourselves, can we become better at questioning the way we speak to ourselves? Like, why do I speak to myself in this critical, harsh manner? Can I stop that voice? Can I have a conversation with that voice and say, I don't want to speak to myself like this anymore. This was something handed to me, and I'm not going to accept it anymore. The last two thoughts from The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse for today are: sometimes your mind plays tricks on you. It can tell you that you are not good. It can tell you that it's all hopeless. But remember this: you are loved and important, and you bring to this world things that no one else can, so hold on. What else? asked the boy. You will have plenty of critics, said the horse. Don't be one of them. Become really good at having the awareness every time that inner critic speaks to stop. Question the inner critic. Say, I'm no longer just accepting these things I'm saying to myself. I know that these voices were given to me. I know that the part of me that loves myself would not speak to myself this way. And become deliberate about the things you want to say to yourself. And it might be necessary to write them down over and over again, because every time we put pen to paper, we're also connecting neural pathways. Decide how it is you deserve to be spoken to, and write those words to you again and again and again. I think it's Thich Nhat Hanh who says, or could be Mooji who says, write a love letter to yourself every day. You are becoming more of the you that you always were before the world showed you who you should be. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you once again for this beautiful book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the reminder that the way I see myself might need a bit more work. I might be using other people's lenses still when I look at myself. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning to trust in the real me. Trust that there is an original being that came into this world before this world showed me who I should be. And I'm gaining trust in that original being. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for getting better at catching a glimpse of myself in the mirror and giving some positive recognition there. I like the person I see. I'm getting better at deeply loving the person I see. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being on this journey with us. Maggie, a very good morning. Awesome seeing you. Michelle, hello. Great seeing you too. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Sun Marie. Wishing you all a beautiful day. And I guess my biggest wish for you is that one day you'll see yourself in the mirror and recognize like everything you've ever wanted in that reflection. Have a beautiful day. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.